Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to what is a very important and very special video, because today it's my first Eafc tutorial and we're talking about all things web app. So we're going to be talking obviously about how to make coins, as you've seen in the title, but just how to get yourself set up for when the game comes out and you can physically play it on your console the best as well. I've done this video for the past 2 years. It's gone down really well, so I'm sure you guys will be happy to see it coming back again. And I've kind of tried to build on things I've learned from doing it the past few years, try and refine the advice, give you the best advice possible. And obviously we have FIFA 23 to look back on now with the new chemistry, all of that. It will give us a lot of helpful stuff for the market going into Eafc 24, and I'm really confident this is going to be my best one ever for making coins. So I'm not going to waste your time, let's get straight into it. So I'm going to be talking you through this on FIFA 23 just because the web app is down at the moment for maintenance, so getting it ready for Eafc. And in case you're wondering, so I'm sure this question will be on a lot of your minds, the web app will come out on the 20th, which is Wednesday next week if you're watching this around the time the video comes out. It might soft release a little bit before that, but I highly doubt it. Just kind of try and stay in the loop on Twitter, EA Direct Communication, and a lot of the big FIFA YouTuber accounts and news accounts will talk about it and give you what you need for that, so just pay attention to them. It's highly likely it will be due out at 6, but will come out a little bit later. That seems to happen every single year. I'll be live streaming my first experience on the web app, so make sure you kind of stay tuned for that as well. I might do it a little bit later in the day, but what I'd recommend for you is try and get on as soon as possible. But before you do that, there's a few requirements you need to meet to actually be allowed on in the first place. First of all, you need to be logged in with your Origin account, which I'm sure all of you can do. When you're on the EA website, just go to the thing in the top right and log yourselves in. It has to be the same Origin account / EA account that you've used on your console for playing FIFA 23, so make sure you do that. And speaking of playing FIFA 23, to access the web app, you need to have played the game, even if it's just for a few minutes, before the 1st of October 2023. What I have had in the past is that even if you don't have the game, you can log on to someone else's console for a few minutes after that date, and it normally still works, but that does change around a bit. I'm not too sure. Obviously, you're not going to be allowed on the web app if you've had any bans as well, so make sure you're aware of that. Transfer market access can be a bit glitchy as well, so I've got a video on that if you need to watch it and get yourself access to the transfer market. One of the main reasons for that though is that after the first 2 weeks the transfer market becomes locked unless you played Eafc. But just as I say for unlocking it at the start, maybe just hop onto one of your mates' consoles and log in through your PSN on one of your mates' consoles, even for a minute or two, just to get it unlocked. So I'm sure some of your friends will be able to do that for you. So make sure you meet those requirements first, and then we can go on with making some coins, which I'm sure you all want to do. So obviously when you're loading up on the web app for the first time, it's going to look a little bit different to this. You're not going to have the exact same menus, but you'll be able to pick all the exact same stuff. It will just look a little bit different. And the first thing that we always get after we have that loading screen is our starter pack. And what nation you pick for this pack can actually be quite an important thing. Some of them are good for different parts of the game, different goals, and some of them are just useless. And obviously England itself has 4 leagues, and you've got a few English players playing in like the Eredivisie, Bundesliga, MLS, so it's a very good one. Brazil and France are good, and also Argentina to an extent if you're trying to set up for the longer term SBCs, those advanced SBCs, the likes of First 11 especially. You can get some good players for that, but I wouldn't really pick any of these based on the players that you might get for a team, because you're not going to have a team for those first 2 days unless you're a content creator. I'm going to go with England. That is what I normally go with, just to get the foundation SBCs done straight away and not have to buy any players for that. So we're obviously going to get our pack open in here. We are going to get ourselves a bit of Danny Welbeck. You can get a few players that are a little bit better, a little bit higher rated, but it doesn't really matter that much. And what you want to do once your team comes up is just try and get yourselves a bit of chemistry, because that can actually do some objectives for you. So I want to try and get a few more English players in, but obviously on this game, which is different to past years, they actually have to be in position. So I'm going to have a look around here. All like my 2 centre backs are English, so I might have to change formations to try and do that, but it won't let me do that yet. I've just got to remember to do it later. But I'll chuck this goalkeeper in. He'll give me a little bit more chemistry. Even if you're just like swapping a few players around and stuff, that can complete some of the foundation objectives, and you want to get all of those done. I'll go into a little bit more detail with those later. But once we've done that, we're going to advance and we're going to get ourselves that lone player. And what you want to think about with a lone player is someone that you can actually use when the game comes out. This is one of the rare instances where you actually have to think about your team. So I'm probably going to try and replace one of my bronzes. There's no point in really replacing Welbeck, Brownhill, any of the gold players. Maybe a good left mid, someone who links, because again, chemistry can help complete those objectives. We've got no English players here. Perisic, would have a bit of a link, but I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to move over to the other side and try again. Remember, you can go for as many positions as you want until you get someone that links for you. So maybe, hopefully, we'll get like Harry Kane up front, at least an English player. We've got Martial there, who obviously would work. I wouldn't really recommend getting a defender. Fullbacks can be kind of useful, or even a goalie, just because you want to get yourself someone that can actually save. But I wouldn't say that's a big priority. Get yourself a goal scorer. I'm going to end up going with Nick Pope here, though, just because he does link, and that is kind of something we want for extra chemistry. So he's in for 6 games. Some of the players will have different games as well, so make sure you're paying attention to that. Get yourself someone who's decent, but has more than like 4 games on them. Try and get maybe an 82, 83 rated player that has loads of games. That's the best thing for me. But moving on, we have got something that's actually really important, but some of you might not realise that, and that is the kits and the badge, because these actually have been tradable the past few years, so you can make yourself some coins if you get some big clubs here. So what you want to do, you want to have a look through. So I've got Philadelphia, that's not really great. Ipswich isn't great. Belgium could be, it's a country, a lot of people will want it, and then some other ones down here, including a really small club from London. So I'm going to go for a team that's the most popular here. For me, it'd be between Ajax and Galatasaray. I'm probably going to go with Galatasaray because they have a really, really big fan base. And here we've kind of got a big decision. I don't want to be controversial, but it's between United and Liverpool. I think the United kit, obviously, this year looks a bit nicer and more people will want it. So we'll have that. And then for the badge, England is always a very, very good one. Get a good nation badge or get yourself Real Madrid, Barcelona, some of those big Champions League clubs if you can. As I said, the key with the kits and badge, just pick the ones that you think the most people will want to buy off you. Don't go and buy kits and badges yourself. There's no point in doing that, but get ones that you can sell on to other people. So I want a brand new account for this just so I can demonstrate the stuff to you. So I don't have any packs to open, but you'll probably get around 4 gold packs that have some 80+ rated players in them. They have been tradable the past few years, but they might end up being untradeable. What you want to do with those is just send everything to the club and then deal with it later. You might get some kits, even some stadium customizable stuff. Anything that's tradable, send it to the club in case it sells. Once you've done all that, you want to get yourselves into the objective tabs, and we're going to go for those foundation ones we were talking about earlier. Of course, this will all be season 1 stuff, or there might even be nothing here if just the web app is out, but foundations will always be there. So on the milestones, you can have a look at them as well, but they're kind of hard to do without the game. You could maybe get the SBC ones done. So we can't do the playing one, we can't do the earning stars ones, but if we have a look through, we can do this SBC one and get ourselves some players. Even if the packs are untradeable, you can use them to do the rest of the foundation SBC, so that's good. We can do the chemistry one as well. We can do some position swapping. We can maybe apply a chemistry style if you get any from your reward packs. Formation change and change club name are both very, very easy to do. So we'll have a look through the basics, just get all of these done. So I'd have a look through, maybe note down the ones that I want to do, go to my squad, and then even just moving a few players around. You don't even really have to do anything. If you can just muck about and move a few players around, you might get some stuff done. And as I said, with chemistry, I will do a video on that. I did one last year, but it's slightly different. Now we've got the women's players in as well, which does change things up a bit. So I will do a video explaining that, how to get the best chemistry and kind of how that works for both SBCs and for team building. But changing the formation is quite a good one as well. One, so we can get more chemistry. I'm actually going to go to a back 3 because I've got another English centre-back. But also you get an objective done literally just for doing this, which is ridiculous. You can see there we completed 2 objectives literally by changing formation. So we'll move this man into position. If we can do one that's a 3-back and has maybe 2 CMs, that would work a lot better. So I'm just going to do that quickly. Maybe do this one because I don't need a cam. There we go. We've had a look through the formations. I reckon this one will look best because we can move Gosling here into position. He gets some more chem. Again, we had some more English players on the bench. He gets a little bit of chem as well, and we can put in a cam as well. You can see we're up to 27 chemistry there, which is obviously really, really good for completing our objectives. So now I'd go through all the objectives I've done. You can see just by moving stuff around, I've done 10 objectives, which is so helpful. Just to get me some players. I can open some packs, and then I've got some stuff to kind of start doing the SBCs. And it gives you, of course, the thing you want more than anything else as well. We've got 500 coins just for doing that. This one gives you 500 as well. We've made 1k out of nothing, and 1k on its own, I know it's not much. That's enough for you to start your trading if you really want to. Hunter chemistry style, that's great as well. Means you don't have to buy any chemistry styles. I wouldn't buy any chemistry styles unless it was for trading. And just all of these things are going to help you. So I'm going to quickly get all of this redeemed, and I'll kind of show you where I am after doing that. So there we go. You can see I've redeemed all my stuff now. I've left some 85 times 10 packs. You've got to give them for free there because obviously you're not going to have them at the start. But once you've done that, you are going to get yourself straight into the SBCs. And these are good not only for getting yourselves players, but you can also kind of manipulate them to make yourself some coins through trading. And I'll kind of explain how that works as we do the first one here, which is the bronze one. You can see here we've just got 1 centre mid. So literally go to the worst player, someone who doesn't link to anyone from a random nation. So you can see I've got a few Indian players here, so I might actually keep them. I might go with this guy because he's the only Australian League player playing in Australia I've got, so I'll send him off put him in the SBC. Make sure you do the don't show this message again, even on the web app. It'll end up saving you a lot of time throughout the year. Even if they are untradeable, open all these packs straight away, because you might get yourselves some players you can use to help with the next SBC. But going back into it, single nation chemistry, you can see we've got here, you need one nation, you need two commons, and you need a bit of chemistry in this place. It needs to be in the right positions. And that right positions thing is very, very important, because if we have a look through, obviously that one isn't that bad, but you see here we need a CM, a left mid, and a right mid. They all need to be from the same league, and you can see here we've got a CM, a centre back, obviously have to be from the same club even. So if you can find yourselves, it can be bronze, silver or gold. A lot of people actually end up using gold players for this, and the lowest gold players can obviously bid on for 300. Try and get yourselves ones where they're the same league, same nation, and they're in the positions you can see here if they're going for really cheap. So Serie A, Italians are probably one of the best ones to use. La Liga, Spaniards as well. And ones that go up for no reason as well, because people think they're being clever using players from these leagues that are a bit more obscure. So for like French, they might go for the French second league. Same with Germany, where they may even use the third league, and to a degree lower league English players as well. You can maybe try and invest in them and get yourselves a few coins, because obviously they'll have to be from the same league here. It can be a little bit awkward, and they have to be common as well. So I'm going to go through my club and just see if I can do these quickly. This is why I said get the English players, because you have so many of them. But you can see right away there, I don't have any right mids I can use. I've got quite a few centre mids. And then on the left, I'll see what I've got as well, see if I've got maybe two from the same nation. And I don't, so you can see there, even though I've opened some packs already, it's really hard to get these. So you might have to go ahead and buy players, or you could just trade, and then once you've got a few coins up, then you could go ahead and do the SBCs. You don't need to get these done straight away. All you'll be doing is unlocking the advanced SBCs, and they're really, really overpriced at the start, and you don't want to do those straight away. But while we're speaking of the advanced SPCs, you can use them for trading. You can do some solution trading if you want to, and I'll explain what that is. I don't do it because obviously I make SPC videos for you lot. I want them to be as cheap as possible. But if you use the footbin SPC solutions, which I don't because they're always overpriced, and you see a new one come up that's cheaper, try and buy the players in that, because they'll go up. Everyone sees it on footbin, everyone starts using it. Obviously the players go up in price. That's why I make my own solutions from scratch and don't use footbin. I might look at it for the chemistry structure, which can be helpful for you guys, but I'd also say don't use the ones off footbin. Either use my methods, because I try and use players that aren't used on footbin as much, so they don't go up, or if you can think of your own method, that's great, maybe go for that. But there's no rush to get those SBCs done. But what you're going to be wondering is, what players should you be buying to try and make yourselves some coins? And just while I go through those, I'm just going to open any packs I've got from SBCs. You can see me getting some badges and stuff here. Use these badges in your club. Don't use the ones that you got originally because you want to sell them on, or if absolutely no one will buy them, you want to at least discard them to get yourselves the extra coins. And don't go and buy your own badges, don't go and buy your own kits. One, you can't play the game while you're on the web app, so you don't really get to see any of it. And two, it's not really something that is an absolute must straight away, is it? It's not at the top of your priority list. You'd rather have good players and more coins than a nice kit, wouldn't you? So the kind of players you want to be looking for outside of those ones, some other ones that are good for SBC solutions, but also people might be using in their teams, are players where there's maybe only one from that nation in a certain league, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of show you how that works. What I'm talking about is you might only have one Spanish goalkeeper in the Premier League, and someone might need a bit of chemistry from someone that's Spanish and in the Premier League as their last player, something like that. I'll get some concept players up just to give you a few examples of this. In Germany, there's a severe lack of wingers just in general, so if I just show you quickly wingers from the Bundesliga, I don't know why this is the thing, I think it's just the way they play it. There won't be that many. There'll be loads more now, obviously, because there is a lot of special cards. But if you look at the start of the game, common right wingers, there's none. Gold rare right wingers, there just isn't any. See, they don't really exist in Germany. If we go over to the left as well, some of them have alternate positions, but there just isn't any wingers apart from this one Hudson-Odoi, so he's going to be expensive. So you can do that by position as well. The Bundesliga is the only real big league where that works though, but another thing I can do is outside of the home nation, maybe go, how many French players are there in the Bundesliga, and have a little look. There's obviously not going to be these special cards, so I'm going to put gold common on again, because that's what people use for SBCs. There's quite a lot, so it's probably not the best filter to go with. I can maybe try a different nation. How many are there from the Netherlands? There's only a few here, so that could be a little bit of a better one. But again, if we see with Bakker and Allegedwan, however you say it, they're not going to be good because they're in the same position, so they can kind of sub out for each other when one becomes more expensive. So I might try maybe a different league combination. I might go to Serie A and see, oh, what can I get from the Netherlands? Quite a few here. There's only one left mid though, so maybe he could end up going up because people are using for SBCs or even just to get chem in their team. So players where there's not many alternatives in their position, especially if there isn't many for Nation or just in their league in general, like those Bundesliga wingers and stuff like that, they can be really, really good. Even for left and right mids in the Bundesliga, there isn't too many because a lot of teams play with wing backs and then play narrow in front of that. So it can be a really, really good one for making coins. But if you guys are opening those reward packs as well and they are giving you some 80+ rated players, you might get some stuff that is meta. And I kind of have to divide the meta up into the top tier cards, which are your Van Dijks, your Vinny Juniors, the ones everyone's going to want to use. Obviously, your Kylian and Mbappe's are right at the top. In the middle, you've got cards that everyone will have at the start, but will eventually grow out of in a few months. So you'll see them until maybe November time. Those are the likes of your Ferland Mendy's, your Kimpembe's, those kind of players. And then you've got the low level meta, which is what people will just use in the first few weeks. And a good example of that is always going to be Klosterman. Obviously, he's a very, very fast centre back. Even slightly below that, you've got your like day one meta cards, as I call them, which would be the likes of your Konates, those kind of players. If you have a look at Konate now, he's a good example of one like that. He's 81 rated this year, so we've gone up a bit, but people went, oh, he's got solid pace, he's French from the Premier League, he'll be expensive. A lot of people invested in him, and then he ended up going for under a K on literally the first day. So those low meta cards, like Klosterman, stuff like that, I don't really think they're worth getting. But if you get yourselves any medium or high level meta cards, they are going to go up in price as people get coins for about the first week. So I would hold on to them. The likes of Kimpembe, certainly hold on to them, because as soon as people get on the game, obviously they're going to want players more. They need them when they get in the game, and it's kind of a race to build a good team at the start. It gives you a real advantage if you've got some OP cards, because you can get up to the rivals quick, you can qualify for champs before everyone else, all of that. So people do really, really want them. They're really in demand at the start. So those mid and high level meta players, hold on to them for a while. But low level ones, they're not really worth investing in anymore. And of course, outside of packing these players, if you do end up generating yourself a decent amount of coins from the things I mentioned so far, then you might want to get yourselves a few investments that are guaranteed to go up. And those high level meta cards are. So I think the best example last year was Vinny. He was about 30k until the game came out. Within a week, he rose to 200k. So if you're very, very lucky and get yourself those coins, people probably won't. He's a good one to go for, obviously. There's playstyles to look for now, so look for maybe OP ones of that. Look for people that have got the power shot, the trickster playstyles. I think they'll be ones to look out for, the agility one as well. And of course, it's FIFA, so anything related to pace. But you see him here, he's got 5-star skills, he's got 4-star weak foot. You'd have a look at his traits as well, which will be playstyles next year. He's got flair, he's got outside of the foot shot, which obviously ends up being meta, but people didn't know. But flair always adds a little bit to it as well, so a lot of people were going to want him. Just examples of cards like that. It will be different to this year, so have a look. Have a look maybe around on social media as well. What cards is everyone hyping up, because they're likely to go up in price if they are high rated. We've kind of got the unknown entity of the women's cards this year as well. Obviously, there's some different leagues involved and stuff like that. I think they're going to start off quite low and then go up and up and up for quite a while, because people aren't going to underestimate them. The likes of Trinity Rodman, I think, is going to go up quite a lot. She's a brilliant super sub. Dabina, who's got 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot. She's got 92 dribbling. She's going to be really, really OP. Obviously, she's Brazilian, links to a lot of other good flair players. And there'll be a few others that are up there as well. I think a lot of people are going to buy the 83 rated Ramirez during the first week or two. So I'd be keeping your eyes open on those kind of players. Have a look around, see what players have been hyped up before the game comes out, because they're probably going to go up in price at the start. But with those ones, especially the 83s, whatever, you might want to sell them quickly if there's a jump, because I'd expect them to go down after that. So we've got a few other ways we can make coins as well. Quite an easy one. Once you made yourself a few Ks, open your preview packs every day. If you get bad players, you don't lose anything, do you? I wouldn't go and open big gold packs, I'd leave those. But open some of these preview packs. You might get a good player. Worst case scenario, you don't lose anything. But if you make anything over 7.5k from this pack, even if you see a player that's worth 8k, even a player that's worth 7k, buy it. You can discard everything else, make yourself some coins. Be aware of tax, of course, because you only get 95% of the coins that you sell your card for. So if you sell it for 1k, you get 950. So be aware you could lose a few coins there. So don't do flips. Buying a player for 950, selling him for a k, because you don't make anything from that. So just be aware of the tax as well. But you can do some consumable trading if you're into that as well. With the customizable consumables, the likes of the badges, stuff like that, which will be in the stadium area, you can actually make coins on them sometimes. So if I just show you a gold rare badge right now, I don't know how cheap they go at the moment. I think it's around 300 coins. But you can buy them for 150 on bid. So if I was to bid on one of these badges, so we'll buy the Villarreal badge, obviously we'd have to wait. They've already been bidded on because people are using them to make coins at the moment. That badge comes in. You can then quick sell it for a few more coins normally. They might finally patch it this year, but normally you could buy the badge for 150, quick sell it for just under 200 coins, which is obviously around maybe 40 coins a card, but I think that will be changed this year. I think it won't discard for as much. And anyway, that's a very, very slow method and a very, very competitive one that a lot of people go for. Chemistry styles can be big before the game comes out as well. Make sure you check through the objectives to see what chemistry styles you get given though, because if there's maybe 3 different ones that give you Senator chemistry styles, no one's going to want them because they're going to have them quite easily. But look for ones that maybe they don't have. So if I go to chemistry styles on here, and then I'll have a look through, like what have we got? We can go, Sniper's a very, very good one. Maybe Hawk as well. Hawk is a very good one normally. See if you can get any of these very, very cheap, because they will go up when the game comes out and people want to put them on their players, especially because people aren't using OP players at the start. You can see even now Hawk is going, some of them around 3k. They will get lazy ball as well. So try and bid on some chemistry styles. Definitely bid, and you might make some coins. And one more method we can use to make some coins, which has been famous over the years, it's been used by basically every YouTuber, is the bronze pack method. All you've got to do here, go down to your classic packs, you'll see your premium bronze packs. They're 750 coins now if you can't get the normal ones. I'll buy one of them as an example. And overall, when you open loads of packs, you'll probably end up making a profit, because a lot of these players, like this is absolutely perfect. We have got a Wrexham player. He's a different league, but you can put him into SBCs. A lot of people will use him. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 6 on the market at the moment. There'll be a few more than that, but he'd go for quite a lot because people will be using him for SBCs. And you won't make profit on every single one of these you do. I've got the Wrexham Stadium theme as well. That'll probably be pretty good. If you've only maybe got the coins for 1 bronze pack, I wouldn't risk it, because it is luck at the end of the day, and that luck kind of ends up being positive if you do loads of them. If you do 1, you are risking losing your coins and then being back to square one, and obviously we don't want that. So there we go. Just to sum it up before we finish, do all your objectives, hold on to everything. If you see stuff that's never going to sell, get rid of all your badges and stuff. You're not going to need them. You can trade them in for coins. And then do your trading, whether it's through SBC players, whether it's through the bronze pack method, or whether you want to go a little bit longer term, maybe hold on to some chemistry styles, or even invest in those higher meta players that will rise loads and make you loads of coins in the long run. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions, chuck them down below. I'll try my best to respond to all of you. If you want any tips or any tricks on stuff in a bit more depth that I mentioned in this video, make sure you let me know. I'm going to put my chemistry tutorial out in a few days, so make sure you click on the link down below for the playlist that will give you that, as well as all my SBCs and any tutorials I do throughout the year. So I'll see you soon. We've got some big things coming in the AFC, and I hope I'll see you there for them. So goodbye. Have a great day, everyone.